And we're here, episode 4 of the Chela's Way Experience. I have the lovely, amazing Gena Tew. Gena, how are you, baby?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I actually been looking forward to this interview for some time. I've been following you on TikTok for a little while.
Cool.
Huge on TikTok. You are a TikToker. Right?
I be
It's
doing
safe
my
to call you that?
thing. Yeah.
You've been doing your thing. You're a TikToker. So what are these lions and all these little things that you get when you guys do these battles? I was watching it. I was like,
Oh,
wow,
you were.
he beat me. I beat him. And I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this? Because if this is money, I need to learn this like now.
It does turn into money, and if you get in like between 1 and 20, you get a reward, which is money. so,
Okay. So what's the
we're
most
pretty
you've
much
ever gotten off a
battling.
live?
We're battling to get to it. Excuse me.
What's the most you've ever gotten?
Well, I just started doing the battles, so I think I'm still kind of fresh with it.
Okay.
So like about 1,000.
Oh, okay. So like
Yeah.
each live, you can stand to make $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's
But that's really like when you're doing the battles though, because if you're not really doing the battles, it's kind of like it's a lot less. So that's why a lot of people like to be, they're trying for it.
So let me ask you a question, Gena. How old are you exactly?
I am 27.
Oh, you're only 27. Oh, okay. So I don't know why I had this impression that you were much younger than that. So you're 27.
Yeah, everyone thinks I'm younger because I've seen things where people are saying I'm like 18 or I'm 21, and I'm like, oh, you guys, I'm 27.
Right. It's like, no, I'm older than that.
Especially with the misconceptions.
I sense the maturity in your voice as well.
Okay, good.
No. Because you can tell when a person's a little bit worldly.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe I'm getting with you. So you've traveled. Would you say the world or just the States?
Just the States. I don't even have a passport. I wish I did. If I had a passport, I'd be, yeah.
Okay, so the places that you've traveled, you've always practiced the work that you've done, like the modeling. And I see you do music. We got a clip of your music. I'm going to play that because I actually like it. I'm like, oh, she's got a soft voice. So you sing.
Yeah. Have been for a very long time, actually.
Okay. And do you still intend to pursue music?
Once I feel better, yes. Okay. Yeah, I want to. I'm not in a place to do it right now, but
let's play that clip of Gena singing. Let's play the clip.
I'm okay without you. If you were wondering, I'm okay. I have my own house to live in. I'm okay, yeah.
That was a pretty video. It's one of my favorites.
Thank you.
So that's what you're into. You play instruments as well? Because I've heard you sing, and also it sounded like you were playing like a banjo. I'm like,
oh no, I wish. I wish. I know no instruments. I've always sang, which is one of the big misconceptions that's out there for me. Is I kind of woke up to these headlines. I woke up and I was like, wait, Instagram model. I've never called myself that a day in my life.
I try to always be mindful of the verbiage. That's why when I had my producer Faith Adorn, shout out to Faith Adorn Network. So when she made her flyer, I was super specific on the verbiage. I said, no, she doesn't call herself that.
Yeah.
I said, let's call her a TikToker. Let's call her a model because she's modeled, and let's call her an artist. Because a lot of the hair color, the style, the music, a lot of it is just so colorful. It brings life to whatever it is that you're doing. So it's like, for me, it's artistic.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I look at it as. I've always been a very artistic person.
You're very, very artistic.
Painting was one of my big things too. Go ahead. Sorry.
We pulled up a couple of photos of you, like your hair. You always have different hairstyles. That's the one thing I like most about you, Faith. Let's pull that up. So this is you doing Dolls Kill, correct?
Yes.
Dolls Kill. Shout out to them. I've done work with them before. They're amazing. Sweet
people. Clothes
are
so great.
Yeah. So if you ever get brand ambassador work with them, they're great. So you were like a fave with Dolls Kill at one time.
I was who?
Like a favorite.
Yes, most definitely. They love me. I was supposed to be, signed on to the whole team, and I just got sick. And so
when were you diagnosed?
It's been a year now. It's been a year since I've known.
And you were diagnosed during the pandemic?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
and then I
be
was
rough.
in the hospital like for like 4 months.
Prior to the diagnosis or after?
Yeah, once I found out, my mom she drove all the way to LA to come pick me up, brought me all the way back to Tennessee. She thought I was gonna be fine being in the house. I was just getting worse and getting worse and worse, and I couldn't sleep because I was having extreme bowel problems. And that's when I ended up having to go to the hospital, and I didn't leave. So yeah.
So you were diagnosed with the AIDS virus in LA, not
Yes, in LA.
Okay, so can you give us a rundown on what that day was like, how it went for you?
So prior to me being diagnosed, I was already, having like I said, I was having extreme like bowel issues, and I was starting to think, oh Lord, what if I have like anal cancer or something? And I would go to doctor after doctor after doctor. I was even paying out of the pocket to get somebody to check me out, tell me what's wrong. And everyone's like, oh no, you're fine. And then someone told me I had lesions and that I had cervical cancer. But then I went to another doctor and they were like, who told you that? That's a lie. These are your results. And they'd show me pictures and say, you're good. There's nothing wrong. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just thinking I'm sick, but I'm not really sick then if everybody's telling me I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home, and like maybe a day later, it's just automatic, like all at once, fevers, nausea. I couldn't eat. What really got me was when I started losing my balance. Because I was running head first into the wall to go to the bathroom. I wouldn't even make it to my toilet. So at this point, I'm kind of like, no, I'm going to the hospital. This is not right. Like,
right.
So I went to the hospital, and they were actually, did some tests, whatever. They were about to send me home again with no information. I had to use the restroom. So while I'm waiting, a doctor walks by. He says, hey, did they figure out what's going on? And I was like, not really. I didn't really get anything from this. So and he's like, no, just stay right there. He's like, because your symptoms, he's like, everything's not adding up. He's like, I'm going to try to get you a room, get some more tests. I said, okay. Got some more tests. And then, of course, they come back and they're like, did you know you have AIDS?
And not even HIV, AIDS.
No, yeah, it was just straight up, did you know you have AIDS?
So at that point, your T cell was below 250.
Oh, way below. Yeah. When I
found
out,
did you say it was?
13. Yeah, I was 13, and it was getting worse, which is kind of why I was in the hospital for so long. Right. It got to the point to where the doctors were literally taking my mom, pulling her to the side, saying, we don't think she's going to make it. You should get the arrangements in order. And I'm, in there, I was not, I couldn't even think properly. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was fine and dandy. But obviously I knew I wasn't, because I didn't, my mental was just, it was weird. It was like my mental kind of just shut down. I didn't really have any emotions towards anything.
Because all you could think about is whether or not you're going to live or not.
Yeah.
And I feel like that takes precedence over everything at that point.
And another issue with being in the hospital is like, if I didn't take a pill or something, if it was too big and I just couldn't take it, my doctors would kind of get on to me and they'd be like, well, if you don't take this, you're going to die, right? I'm like, well, thank you for reminding me.
Thanks
sir.
For the comfort.
Yeah. And it was a lot that they would tell me that. And I'm like, I hope y'all know that's not helping me at all.
Did you ever try to double back and contact all of the practices that you had went to prior and let them know, like, you guys misdiagnosed me?
No, because I was so out of it at the time.
Right.
And I ended up having to leave my apartment. I honestly left so much, like, because I would do videos and stuff, so I had a lot of like camera equipment and stuff. Left it for free for my neighbor to come and grab. Like, I left everything, and I had like I had all my documents in this CVS bag I kept in the closet, and I forgot about it, which had all my documents of the past places I have been. And I just couldn't recall the exact names of where I was and who like I was talking to. So unfortunately, I kind of brushed it off, even though I should have just been like, I'm finna sue y'all for lying to me because
right, because it seems as though like this is definitely within the guidelines of malpractice.
Exactly.
Because this is someone's life we're talking about. You guys misdiagnosed me not once but twice, 3 times.
And if I didn't find out from a hospital, they told me if I didn't come in when I did, I would not be here. Like at all. I would have died in my apartment.
In God's time. I keep saying it, you know, like
yeah.
Even though your story's harsh, it has some light at the end of the rainbow. You know what I'm saying? There's still a silver lining somewhere in this. And that is the fact that you're able to tell the story. Now, you were talking about your CD4 count.
Yes.
And at this point, you said they consider you undetectable.
Yes. They said I was undetectable at 47.
Really?
Yeah, and because I had went in when they told me my new CD4 count, which was 112. They were like, "Yeah, you're undetectable." He's like, "You were actually undetectable the last time you were here." I was like, "I was?" Like, y'all didn't tell me that.
So that's a good thing.
Means undetectable equals untransmittable. So
you can actually, in the near future, things get better for you. You're back on the up and up, singing, modeling, looking cute. You can actually have a normal dating life.
Exactly. And
I love that.
And if whoever I'm with wants to be on that prep stuff, they can.
Right. So we're going to talk about prep really quickly because what regimen of medication would you say you're on a daily basis right now?
Genvoya.
Just one pill?
Yeah. And I take something for infections at night. I don't remember the name of it though. My mom always gives it to me.
It's just one and one.
It's called sulfametazole. Yeah.
Sulfametazole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're taking 2 pills a day.
Yes.
But prior to that, you said you were on Biktarvy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So with the Biktarvy, you said that you weren't content with the result of that medication because they said that they wanted you to put on some weight. So they switched you over to Genvoya.
Yes, and due to the insurance, of course.
Right. So let's talk about the financial side of the regimen medication. That you know, there's a finance that has to support that. A lot of people think that when they're HIV or AIDS positive, you can just go into any place and say, "Hey, I'm sick. I need medication." It doesn't work.
Yeah, no, it's not a plan B. You can't do that.
You can't. Well, explain how difficult it is to even get the insurance to cover that amount of medication on a monthly basis. Because you said it. How much? What did you say it is?
It's about $4,500 a month, and a lot of people don't even make that in a week. In a month. My bad. But like, to me, it's impossible. It's like they don't want to help you. They want you to, dissipate.
Right. It almost seems like it's part of the plan, like some governmental scheme. Like
exactly. I'm like, so y'all might as well just go ahead.
I gotta say, I agree.
Yeah.
I always believe that there's some truth to their system and how they choose to help.
And then for this, you kind of have to find a place that's willing to help you with this specific thing.
Right.
Not everybody covers this. So.
Right. So you're in Tennessee.
Yes.
Right. Is there a lot of locations, like a lot of clinics you can go to for support, for help? God forbid you get sick.
Well, I know there's Ryan White. I'm not sure. We kind of had a hard time finding some spots, but we were lucky to find Ryan White.
Okay. Is that's a clinic?
Yeah. Okay. And they kind of help you with the payments. I still pay a little on stuff, but like not the full whole $4,500 because that's just impossible.
I can imagine.
Especially because I don't get disability. So
you don't qualify in your condition?
I actually did. Because I'm disabled.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, what's the deal there?
They said I was not supposed to be getting it while I was in the hospital.
So you can't be hospitalized receiving disability.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be some rule of Tennessee, but that's what they said. Once that time frame is up that I had gotten anything from them while I was in the hospital, then they'll turn it back on, but they still have not. So I'm still working on getting that back.
All right, because that would help some sort of coverage.
It would help.
At least it'll cover some of the payment.
Yeah, it would help a lot. There's a lot of things that I need that I don't get because like I also have like I have bowel problems and stuff, so I have to wear a diaper. Or what do they call adult briefs? Sorry.
Adult.
Yeah.
Depends.
Yeah, people call it every day.
Depends on what's happening that day.
Yeah, exactly.
Really quickly, your sister has a GoFundMe. I've donated to it. I'm putting it up here because I want everyone to see. You know, your sister suffered from a very rare lung disease. I did some research on it. It's called fibrosing mediastinitis.
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 Yeah.
Which is that similar to cystic fibrosis?
I think so. Some
It's similar
fibrosing
to
something.
I know
Yeah.
cystic fibrosis is very debilitating.
Mm-hmm.
And your sister was
It's
diagnosed
very
with that.
rare.
How old was she when she was diagnosed?
She passed at 29. Mama, how old was Bear when she was diagnosed?
Oh, she was diagnosed in 2013.
2013. Okay. So, what does that make her? Ooh, that's a long time ago.
I think she was 19.
Maybe 19? Yeah, because yeah, about 19 or 20.
And you guys are trying to support her family.
Yeah, because she was diagnosed when she had her babies, and
they said the baby was like a parasite.
Oh wow, they said her baby was like a parasite. So she wasn't supposed to have another kid, and she did. And mind you, they did tell her she was supposed to die within like 5 years, but she still lived. And we all thought she was fine. She kept telling us she was healthy, it was gone, she's all right. And we finally go out there to visit her, and the second day we thought she was having a panic attack. And we stopped at a gas station, and the ambulance ended up having to come because she was just wheezing a little too much. And yeah, she kind of like she passed.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Dude.
Yeah, and for me, it really hurt me because I was always in LA and New York, really focusing on trying to get myself together, and build my career and stuff. And we only FaceTimed all the time, so I haven't seen my sister in 5 years. And I finally get to visit her, and it's like my last visit. So it's probably the worst visit we ever had. But yeah, she has 3 kids, 2 girls, a boy, and her husband. She didn't have any insurance and stuff, so it's just been really hard on the family. So yeah, that's kind of I want to be near my family. I'm trying to move over there.
I see. It seems like you guys are pretty close. You have a brother as well.
Yeah, I don't want to miss any more opportunities to be with my family, because missing out on seeing my sister all these years, and then I get 1 day with her, really. So it's like, wow.
So
I don't want that to happen.
To those out there who choose to avoid family, try to find ways to reconnect if possible, because you just never know.
And then you're like, oh, I'll respond to them later. No, do it right now.
Right.
Just do it right now, because later might not come. Because I used to do that a lot to my sister.
Good spirits, Gena. I noticed that you're always in good spirits. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on, whether you're going up and down in weight, you find ways to laugh, joke, make a meme. Like, I see it. Like, I see some of the things you post. Like, niggas want to eat my ass. Like, I'm like, Gena's so silly. Like, goddamn, what a joke to make. But only a person who's understood what they've been through and is okay with their process can make a joke like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she's unique, man. Now, you've told this story not just on your TikTok, but you've also told this story to other blogs.
Yes.
So what was your experience with those previous blogs? Because they reached out to you just so they could find out the who's who of the situation rather.
Yeah, I feel like some of them were kind of, they pretend to care a little bit, and then they get down to the nitty gritty and be like, so who you been with?
Right.
We need a list, basically. And it's just kind of like, what? No. Like, honestly, even if I didn't have, AIDS, to me, that's like, why are you asking me this?
It's messy. It's messy. And the thing about it is, like I said, and I think we've mentioned this before, here at the Chela's Way Experience, pro-life is a bigger concern here for me.
Yeah.
Rather than who you've slept with. I could care less, because I highly doubt that any of those people that were aforementioned are even asking if you're okay. Even on a low tip, like shoot a DM, like, hey, Gena, you good? I know they're not doing that.
Yeah,
That's why I could care
I
less
am
about
friends with
those
one of
people.
the people that they mentioned, and I'm just like, he checks on me, but he's fine. And there's like, it's not that. He only turning something into that. That's not
Right.
what this is. You
Right.
know, it's just
The story's much deeper. It's much deeper than the who's who.
exactly. And it's like, it's a lot that's not true. And I'm just like, at this point, I kind of got to it. I was like, I'm gonna let people think I was out here hanging out with Prince and Michael Jackson because that's where it's going. Like, I mean, I could literally say I was out last night hanging out with 2 Chainz, and everybody would run around with it. And it's like, I've never met that man
You
in
know
my
what? I
life.
can believe that, Gina. Honestly, I can believe that people would believe anything at this point because social media has a way of just like pouring Kool-Aid out, like
It's
with
gotten
no
to the
mix.
exactly. It's gotten to the point to where I'll post a video on TikTok, for example, and I'll use a specific song in the background, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, she's throwing subliminals." I'm like, "No, I'm not." like I'm blowing
They're
this.
like, oh, she's playing that song in the background. I knew if she slept with him, she had to.
It.
Listen,
I'm like, "Yep,
here,
sure, sure did."
you know what I think most? I think that people, they feel like they can only gain an audience when they're talking about gossip.
Exactly, and I'm
But if you're a
like,
good journalist and you're good at what you do, you'll attract your demographic without having to dissect a person's scenario.
exactly.
Let
You
them
know, you know
tell it
what
if
they
they
do?
want.
You know what they do? They say, Gena Tew speaks out about Chris Brown and Nick Cannon. That's clickbait.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Here at the
That's
Chela's Way
clickbait.
Experience, well, we care about Gena. That's who we care about, right, Faith? We care about Gena too.
Hey, Gena Tew. Yeah.
Is that your last name? TEW2?
Exactly.
Yes.
We care about Gena. Faith jumped in like exactly. Yeah, we care about Gena. Gena
Thank
is
you.
what is who this is about.
Thank
Gena is
you.
who matters here in this segment. Gena is gonna matter for the rest of her life because she's gonna have one. That's what's
Thank
gonna
you.
happen
Yes,
here.
that is the plan.
That is the plan. So you're on a regimented, I would say, medical diet. Rather, you're fighting every single day. What is your current prognosis?
What do you mean? I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Like what currently with the medication you're on, your constant visits, you're staying on top of everything. I'm pretty sure they
Yeah.
say, okay, you're looking on the up and up. This is what it's looking like for you.
Yeah, I'm just my goal is to get my CD4 count over 200. So I'm staying on my medicine like I'm supposed to because a lot of people don't believe in doing the medicine, do the holistic thing, and
No, do the Western medicine.
but I get so many. Honestly, I get a lot of DMs from people saying, they look up to me and they love that I'm not staying off my medicine because they've had loved ones or friends that decided I don't want to do the medicine and they lose their lives. So I'm like, no, I don't want to risk it. I'm cool. I'll take some tips, but I'm gonna still take my medicine. So.
My mom had a group of friends that I remember growing up as a child. Naturally they were part of the community, LGBTQ community, and I always remember, like, it was a whole group, like maybe 4 or 5 of them. One used to do hair, one did makeup. They were like my mom's group of friends. She went everywhere with them. They were like her chat buddies. They were, And then I never forget. She was like, "Oh, you can't go overseas his house today." And I'm like, "Oh, but he told me he was gonna do my hair." She's like, "Not today." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And she goes, "He's sick." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And mind you, I was a kid. I didn't understand. I was about 7 or 8. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then the next day, I'm like, "Ma, is he gonna do my hair today?" She goes, "No, he can't. He's sick."
Oh wow.
Then I'm like, "Well, okay." Didn't say anything. Went outside. Went on about my day as a child. And then next thing you know, I started to see him. He was like, by the time I saw him again, he was bedridden. He was half his weight. He was in Pampers. And shortly after that, naturally, was his demise. It was sad to watch because back then it was the 90s.
Yeah.
So, I watched all of them one by one, fall victim to that virus. And it was painful to watch, not only for myself as a kid because I adored these people, but for my mom. They were her friends.
Exactly.
And
such a sad
wanted
situation.
She always wanted to explain to me, like, these are important things that you need to understand. It's not specific to any sexual preference.
Exactly.
No, everyone's subject to this.
Exactly. And
so you have a lot of people that do the whole I'm good.
Yeah, it's like they just like, for example, I have a friend who recently was saying, "Oh, I heard that so and so was messing with this person, and I just messed with her, and that person's sick with, they also have AIDS or something." And they're like, "I was feeling a little weird, but I think I'm good. I think I was just freaking out." I said, and like, "Oh, I'm good. I don't need to go to the doctor." I'm like, "No, you might need to just go ahead and go to the doctor because that I'm good is what messes people up."
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Those blanket statements are
yeah,
what people lean on so that they don't feel like, like no one wants,
yeah.
that hanging over their head. But the
Or
thing
they're
about
too
it is,
embarrassed or too scared to go into the doctor
too
and
scared.
specifically ask for it. It's like, don't be scared.
How
Everyone needs it.
important would you say for it is for people to be in the know with their health status?
Oh, it's extremely important. Like I was just, I don't know. I was so distracted with my life that I didn't think about it. I mean, like I would go and get STD checks, but mentally for me, I thought that was included. I thought everything was just included.
Right.
I didn't know I had to specifically ask for
They
an
were,
HIV
yeah,
and AIDS test.
yeah. So here's the thing with HIV testing. You
Yeah.
have to consent to it. You have to
Yeah.
sign specific documentation for that specific test rather than STD testing. Now, you go to STD clinic,
Exactly.
naturally they will test you for all the STDs, but you do have to add in, hey, I want to be tested for HIV.
Exactly. And like
Because you
people
have to
always
sign off.
People always ask me, "What's the biggest lesson you've learned?" I said, "Well, the lesson I've learned can't save me now." So I already fell victim to it. So I hope other people,
I mean, I
take
think now it's
control.
safe to say whatever you've learned is appreciate life.
Yes, definitely. While you got it, because it could be gone like that. Because, like I said, it hit me like a ton of bricks all at once. No symptoms, nothing. So, and people don't believe that, but I didn't have no warnings. All I had was bowel problems, and I was thinking way different options, but um, I
But
never
I've seen
considered that.
videos where you discussed, that what led to the bowel issues. It was sexual nature, preference, things that happened in your life, choices that you had made.
Oh, well, I was having bowel problems prior to that. Um, just because I don't do that, if you know what I'm saying. Uh, I don't know. I was
So
like,
I
that's
must have like I heard it wrong because you were like, man, like I had this problem, and I'm like, oh,
oh
okay.
yeah, no.
So it wasn't anything that you did. You wasn't playing in the back. She's like, I wasn't playing back there. I don't know
Yeah,
why
I
I wasn't.
realized some people were misunderstanding. I was like, oh no, 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 no.
Okay, because
So
it's easy to have believed that. Okay, so you didn't play around back there because you know there's a lot of girls that
no,
like playing
because
around back there because they like how it feel. I'm just saying, I ain't one of them.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I was like, I'm not one of them either. So
And Gena's like, I didn't even play around like that back there.
no, I think that's why people can. I meant to. I should have worded it differently when I had the one video that said full hands. I was like, who's putting a whole hand? And I was like, okay, maybe it was just to the knuckles, but it was a lot of hand going back there. Because when I had these bowel problems, that's one of the reasons I was really scared because I don't do nothing back there. I'm like, why am I in so much pain? What's going on? This ain't right. Um, so I was always going to get tested for it, and eventually I was severely constipated,
Right.
and they didn't give me no warning, no medicine, no numbing, nothing. And
So they
they
didn't do a good job. Like I said,
no,
there was a lot of misdiagnosing, it seems, throughout this entire process.
they had a pan and they gloves and just went ham, and I was screaming.
Raw,
Yes.
painful experience.
I mean, I was begging them to stop. My mom had to leave the
She's
room.
like, I rather like if I was a man, I couldn't have even did a prostate check. This is
Oh,
rough.
what? No, because it's not like they just took one or two fingers.
They really
That
were trying to make sure you didn't have cancer, so they were checking to see if there were any polyps, probably anything of that nature in
and
there.
they were taking everything out.
Oh.
I just was like, y'all don't put people to sleep for this, like, because this is unbearable.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, that
usually
was
do like an X-ray. They give you that stuff to drink. They
yeah,
highlight in the X-ray. I was a
yeah.
veterinary technician, so it was
Oh,
like the
okay.
same thing. It was almost the same process.
Ooh, it's
But
painful.
you also said that your eye. You went on to talk about your vision is poor. How
Mm-hmm.
long have you been suffering with that in terms of the virus?
So, like I said, I was in the hospital for like 4 months. I think my vision started going out within like 2-3 months in.
Mm.
So I've been kind of like this for a while. I just had a surgery on my eye like
Yeah,
a week
I
or two
heard you
ago.
talking about the retinopexy.
Yeah, so the CMV, they're trying to get it out. They came in to suck the blood out, and yeah, like I said in my video, yeah, they put like a gas bubble they said in it. They didn't do the oil one, but they put gas in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it was supposed to make my vision better, but I'm more blind in it than I was before. So I'm like, I can't even see nothing. But he's told me I need to wait a month for the gas to go away or something.
Okay.
And then I should see some changes. But if not, I might have to do another surgery.
Left eye?
Yeah, this one right here.
Your left eye. So your right eye's
It's decent. It kind of goes in and it kind of gets really blurry sometimes, but it's decent. Yeah.
okay.
So I might still have to wear some glasses, but they haven't prescribed me any because, the healing process, don't want to give me the wrong ones and then have to change it up after another surgery. So
you've always been like this, Gena? You've always been soft and easygoing?
Yeah.
What's your sign?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Emotionals.
What? What?
I'm a Leo.
My brother's a Leo. That's August, right? August 12th is my brother's.
I'm August 14th.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We're warm people. We're very loving.
My brother's like my little twin, but he's aggressive.
But you know what I'm seeing, Gena? I'm seeing that you get more support than backlash.
Yeah, I do. Actually.
I'm so glad that one outweighs the other. Tell me about the support that you've been receiving on TikTok and how it's translated to real life.
Yeah, I get a lot of believe it or not, I do get a lot of messages of people saying, "You inspire me. Please don't quit. You don't know how much you've changed my life and how I look at things." And I'm going to these people's pages and I'm realizing that some of them are in hospitals too. And I'm like, oh, okay, good. Well, I help somebody. Even just being in a chair, just for the people in wheelchairs, I want them to know they can do things in the chair. Because a lot of times I get down, I'm like, there's nothing I can do. People tell me to. I just want to show you guys a few things that I do to help exercise my legs. It's not much, but it's what I can do currently.
Wait, are you always practicing chair exercise like on a daily basis?
Yes, every day.
Every single day. So you went down as far as 67 pounds.
65.
65 pounds. Okay, I shaved. I try to give you an extra 2.
Oh.
Okay. So you went down to 65 pounds, which your average weight is what?
It's always been around 95 to 98. The most I've ever been was 105.
Okay.
But I've never been that small.
Right. So at that time, you were at your weakest point.
Extremely, yeah. And it's weird because it literally fell off. Like I wanted to eat. I tried to eat a lot. It got to a point to where I couldn't eat. Like anything would just come right back. So they had to give me fluids at one point. They put the tube in. That hurt.
Yeah, those feeding tubes suck.
Yeah, and I mean, when I say it flew off me like that, I was.
Yeah, because it goes. Well, I mean, I know in animals we do it through the nose.
Yeah.
How do they do it to humans?
Just thinking about it.
Yeah, we would feed the tube through the nose and straight to the stomach.
Yeah, was it that for me? No, I don't remember being in the nose. I thought it was in the mouth.
Maybe it was.
So
I just know it's got to be
a lot of traumatizing stuff in the doctors because from doctors throwing me on the floor, stuff like that. It's just
throwing you on the floor.
To me, yeah. They were trying to. I was sitting in this chair. They wanted me to sit in a chair. Mind you, I can't walk. So they pick me up, help me get in a chair because they're wanting to get me to the point to where I'm working out. They keep me in the chair for a little while. They something about their beds, they deflate, and they're touching the floor. So they come back, try to get me out the chair, and they drop me basically throw me down. They keep saying, "You need to stand up, stand." I'm like, I can't stand. So they just go ahead and drop me there, and I'm like, I hit the floor, and I was very upset. I started crying, and they pretty much were kind of like making me feel like she can walk. She's acting like she can't walk. That's
Oh
kind of how it
wow.
felt. Yeah, and I complained to everyone in
I was
there that
gonna
I
say, I
could.
mean, isn't there like HR or
Yeah, I'm
somebody
like,
can?
I don't want her to be in my room anymore. This woman literally just dropped me on the floor. The bed wasn't even blown back up. It was literally I was hitting bars. Like,
And that's painful for someone who's underweight trying to regain.
mind you, I can't sit in a tub. My whole bone on my whole tailbone was sticking out, so I couldn't sit on it. So for me to hit it, it was a lot. To me, the hospital's traumatizing. If I ever hear I have to go back, I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Well, you're
From the
doing a good
spinal
job
stuff and
with home care. I see that you have a lot of help at home. Do
yeah.
you have like a daily nurse, or is it your mom?
My mom, she used to nurse.
Oh, she
She
was
used
a
to be a
nurse as
nurse.
well. Well, that's dope. It's dope to have the support of your mom. My mom passed away years ago. I wish I had her support. Even to yell at me would be nice. But at the end of the day, I see that you're not alone. And that is super duper comforting to
Yeah.
what I see you go through on a day-to-day basis. I'm like, at least she's not alone. At least she's not alone.
Yeah, because if I would have still been in LA, I don't know. Mm, yeah, I don't know who would have really had my back out there. Because a lot of people fall ghost after finding out.
So would you say that a lot of the people that you were once friends with, you're no longer in
I
touch with
haven't
them?
heard from him.
Really?
Mhm. My ex, we were still cool. He actually came and visited me in the hospital, and then all of a sudden he just ghosted me. So, and I thought we were still friends because, I'm not saying no names, but yeah, I thought we were still friends. I actually had one of my prior exes hit me up, and he actually blocked me on all social media because he
All
thought I was.
because you were positive.
Mhm. And we were cool, but then he saw all the tabloids, and got upset about it. He's like, are you talking about me? And I was like, no, I have nothing. What? You're not even in those. What's wrong with you? Um, and I actually haven't mentioned him, which is, oh, my eyes going blurry. Sorry. He's someone I don't really talk about. I was with him for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Because people always ask me, where do you think you got it? How do you think you got it? And like I said, I don't know. I didn't know I had it. And I was in a relationship for a while when I lived in New York. I wasn't a cheater. I was with a guy. I was living with him for almost 3 years. Because, mind you, I lived in New York for 4. So I was with him for almost 3 years. I
Where
would
in New
say.
York, really quickly, were you?
Brooklyn.
You went BK, girl? What you doing over there?
I was
Wild
in
house
BK.
tonight. You should have come
No.
out reggae party because you know, we did party now.
Yeah.
I'm mixed with Jamaican, so I'm like, you should have just came
Hey.
to a Jamaican party, girl. Oh,
Shoot, I was going to party. But the issue, he could. I always wonder if he could have been the person.
why him?
He cheated on me with men all the time.
There's a good chance.
All the time.
How did you find out that he was cheating with men?
He went on vacation. He went on vacation to visit somebody for some kind of thing he was doing. And I was like, okay. And he left his laptop. I'm not nosy like that, but for some reason, someone was telling me, just glance at his email.
Like a little black book moment.
Yeah, just glance at it. He gave it to you. It's all
Listen,
open.
if it's saying it, then you got to go for it. Those are signs.
And I found emails and stuff. And when he came back, I'd unpacked all my stuff. I said, I don't want to be here. I'm cool. Like this, no. If I'm here to be your cover up, I wasn't my plan. You should just let me know. Maybe I could have just tagged along and pretended. But that's I done fell in love with you and all this, and he ended up admitting it to me.
That he was bisexual.
No, he swears up and down he's not. He said he was doing it for money.
No, he's bisexual.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whether you take money or not, you took that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a lot of stuff to start clicking in my head. I didn't even want to mess with him anymore. I'm like, oh man. Now I see why you like doing this. Like, it's like Like,
She's like, no
okay.
wonder why you kept telling me to turn around. I was wondering why you didn't want to look at my face.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. He
Someone
has
said a lot of times being a person of color, doctors can be rude and dismissive to our needs, especially if you don't have certain medical insurance or come from money.
Yeah. Wait, what? Sorry.
She said that it's basically people of color, being a person of color, a lot of the times people in doctors specifically can be very dismissive. She said to our needs, especially if you don't have the proper medical insurance or
and that's
come
why
from
they
money.
jack the prices up.
So I'm like, they're clearly looking for Red Cross, like Blue Cross Blue Shield type shit.
Because
that's the type of insurance they go crazy over. That fucking expensive high end that covers.
Knowing we can't afford it, like just
well, not all of us work for Fortune 500 companies.
Exactly.
Some of us are trying to find our way every single day, and you're biracial though.
Yeah.
You were showing photos of your dad, photos of your mom being Caucasian, your dad being black.
Yeah.
I see you get a lot of support from your mom, but where is your dad currently?
So I have a stepdad. My dad comes and visits sometimes, but I don't know. Sometimes I don't think he likes to see me in this position right now. Like it makes him feel some type of way. But I can't speak on him right. I don't know. I love him. I do. I don't know where he sits in this.
Okay.
My stepdad, he works like all the time, so he's never home. He's here on the weekend.
And what about your brother? Is he supportive?
Yeah, of course. My mom, we talk to him every day.
Okay, and is he in Tennessee as well or no?
No, he's over there near my sister's kids. That's another reason I'm trying to move. Him, my grandma, them, everybody. All
of
there.
you guys are trying to consolidate the home situation.
We like uprooting to go over there just to be close because everybody left Tennessee.
And what state is that your sister's children live in?
Well, they went back to Pittsburgh. They were in West Virginia.
Is that PA?
Yeah.
I gotta come see you then. You're not far.
Nice.
I gotta come take a drive. Faith, we gotta take a drive. We gotta have lunch with Gena. Listen, I'm not squeamish about anything. I will be hugging you like, hey, girl.
Like, I love it.
I've experienced.
I need a good hug.
I got plenty. I've experienced this with, like I said again, my mom's friends. I held on tight, hugged those people, gave them kisses. I wasn't never afraid. And my mom, at that time, not understanding the virus entirely, she used to be like, be careful, be careful, be careful. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I love them still. And I love them. It didn't change how I felt. I'm like, I don't care if they're sick. I love them. Like those are people that watched me. Like,
Yeah.
So I'm not one of those people that's uncomfortable being around someone with a virus. I'm like, I'm more nervous about being around somebody with monkeypox. If anything, you stay over there. Me and Gena are good right here.
I don't know if you happen ever. I don't know when you've caught my lives, but I would do like a match with people. And this guy the other day, he came into my live and he's like, oh, wow, am I going to get it through the camera? Am I going to get it right now? I'm like,
wow. Talk about ignorance at its best.
All I can do is just sit there and smile. I'm like, okay.
I know. Talk about ignorance at its finest. I mean, that's exactly what it appears as. Do you ever feel, Gena, some days, like when you wake up, like, I hope I never passed this on to anyone? Does that ever cross your mind?
Not really. Well, see, because I'm not. People, the sad part is people think I'm promiscuous.
Right. No. Of course not. No, not labeling you as promiscuous, but in the time frame, 8 to 10 years, right? So say you're in a 3-year relationship. Mm-hmm. Then prior to that, you were in a 2-year relationship. It's safe to say you're not sure where it could have happened. Yeah,
no. And then it's not only that. It could have been from a tattoo. I have multiple free tattoos.
I heard you mention you got a couple of free tattoos. I heard you did mention that at one point in time you were homeless as well.
Yeah.
How did all of that come about? The homelessness?
Well, so I moved to New York when I turned 18 with a suitcase and $600.
Girl, why you had to come over here trying to live that American dream? You don't do that shit. There's a whole process. You got to go and get an apartment on Craigslist.
I thought I had an apartment.
It's all a process.
I thought I had an apartment, and then I kind of found out I got there. It didn't even exist. So the place didn't even exist. How I don't know. I was very naive. I was very ready for stuff to just happen, and then it just all didn't happen the way I wanted it. Ended up getting robbed at McDonald's.
Really?
Yeah, I got stole all my money at McDonald's.
How?
And I'm just gonna say it's all my fault. I'm just gonna say I was trusting people and I shouldn't have. And I ended up running into the same person again. I was like, dude.
Give me my $600,
I
bitch.
went. I had.
I'm like, give me my $600.
Yeah, I was like, no, and I told everybody in the place because I was mad. I was like, this dude
I'm gonna blow you up
stole
too.
my. I found a cop outside.
Up too. I'd be like, remember me, motherfucker? You stole my $600. Remember me? All right. Let's go outside, bitch.
Like you don't know what you did to me because my life. What?
Spiraled.
Yeah, and I found a cop outside. I pressed it. I tried to get the cop to do something, but I couldn't do anything but file a report. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
So we're just gonna lose this guy.
They do these days is file a report.
That's like making a comment on some post or something. Like you ain't gonna find it. Like this ain't going nowhere. But I ended up going to shelters after that, finding some shelters. I was going on Craigslist a lot. Not the smartest idea.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, Craigslist and waitress job. That's usually the format. And I'm like, it's never a safe one. You be lucky if you roll the dice and get a 7.
Look, I'm a setup for myself at this point. No, but yeah, no, I ended up going on because at the time I didn't know about Facebook Marketplace and stuff.
Okay.
So I was on Craigslist and I was looking for a place. I was like, I'll clean. I'll pay like a minimum of something. I was trying to figure out ways I could find somewhere to stay. I didn't care how far it was. I was like, I'll jump on the train. I'll wake up extra early to find a job.
But let me ask you a question, Gena. Why were you so adamant to come to New York and do that? Could you not have had that opportunity?
I was trying to find I was trying to find the closest place that I knew had, like, the closest, most popular place for music. Yeah, obviously I couldn't fly out to LA.
Because you would think like Nashville, Memphis, like those are places that's rocking.
I know. I just, it's so dangerous here.
Girl, New York is dangerous. Like dangerous.
I know. I don't know. I just feel safe. It's weird. I don't know how to explain this, but I feel safer in New York than I do here.
Really?
I do.
I can imagine. Well,
I don't know if it's just because my life is like shambles all the time.
From Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I get the danger you're talking about.
Oh, did you not hear about what just happened last night?
No.
Some guy went on a shooting spree.
Oh yes, I did see that. He was 19 years old, and he was running around spraying the place.
Yeah, my mom came back in a panic.
426K.
What? Oh,
he said,
tripping.
I'm not playing today. He said, my body count about to be 426K. I said, you about to be 426 dead. They not playing with you, boy.
I'm surprised they caught him. I was like, man, I didn't even think he'd make it to prison. But
mental health has taken the front seat in this country.
Exactly. And the thing with me is like, I heard the sirens riding past my house. My mom had just left. My mom calls me breathing heavy, hard. She's like in the midst of all of it happening. So he's driving past us basically. So that's why I was freaking out. I was like, oh no, see.
And he's just shooting at people outside walking.
Random. And then there's a video of him.
I seen it. He was doing it on Facebook Live.
Horrible. And I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I wasn't with you, mama, because we would have been stuck outside. You trying to help me get in the car or something. You never know. And that's the scary part. Like I said, they just snatched that woman off the street just for jogging. And just all of this is happening. And then like today, there's another thing happening where people are being held hostage at the IRS and
oh my goodness,
at Target. And I'm like, every day. I told my mom it comes in 3s, so I'm hoping this is it.
Right. So let's just hope you make it safely to Pittsburgh. We have lunch. Call it a day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because this is a lot to take in considering your condition. I can see why you'd be worried. When you were diagnosed, though, you were diagnosed, like you said, during COVID. How hard would you say it was for you to dodge things? You were like indoors. You made sure you had your PPE all the time.
Well, they kept me. So whenever I found out, like I said, I was in the hospital. So and the crazy part is, I was right next to the COVID door. They have like, right in that door is everybody with COVID. So they would come in my room with suits on,
right,
because of my immune system. They could not get me sick at all.
No exposure, zero exposure.
Yeah, anything. I couldn't even have what they say. You can't even have an apple. Like you
were a bubble girl for a little bit.
Yeah, like. The nurses almost didn't want to have to come to my room because they had to put on a whole nother outfit just to come in.
It was exhausting for them.
Yeah, and I'd have times where I was screaming because I didn't know what panic and anxiety attacks felt like. I thought I was dying, and they would literally ignore me the whole time.
Oh,
They would,
wow.
they wouldn't tell me nothing. They wouldn't calm down, trying to calm me down. No one told me I was having panic attacks. I just thought they were just gonna let me go. Um, so, oof. Sorry, just the memories of this hospital.
Well, I don't want to help to, rehash anything uncomfortable.
No,
So
it's all
like
good.
you said, on the up and up, as long as you're staying on this medication religiously,
Yes.
you can look at a full healthy life.
Yeah, as long as I do, yeah, I have to stay on my medicine. I don't want to take no days off.
Would you
'Cause,
say that in the near future you'd want to have children?
yes, I almost had a kid, but I had a miscarriage. But
Okay.
but I definitely want kids. I definitely do. I want a
But with the
mini me.
advances in medicine, I know now you can do that safely, and the
I
baby will be
know.
born negative.
One thing people always ask me is, can you have kids? And I'm just like,
I mean,
shoot.
you're 27.
Actually,
I
at
can't
this
see why
point,
not.
well, as if like, am I? Because I don't have a period anymore.
Oh, okay. So this is where it gets interesting because it could be a lot of the times weight loss and weight gain
Mm-hmm.
interferes with menstrual.
Yeah. See, I didn't understand because I had started losing weight, I guess, only a little bit though, before I had found out about my diagnosis. But then
Mm.
once I found out, it's weird. It's like my brain said, "Oh snap! Now you know we can just go ahead and take the rest of the weight off." But uh, I didn't have a period at that time either, and I was like, maybe this has been the reason the whole time. So, but yeah, it kind of makes me wonder too. Like, I want to ask my doctor, "Hey, am I able to have kids?" Because
Right, because in order to be able to reproduce, you need to have a menstrual.
yeah,
So the thing is that the question now is your body actively producing eggs? I guess that
yeah,
would be one major question to ask your doctor.
mm-hmm.
Can you actively produce eggs? Or
Yeah,
is the medication
mm-hmm.
one of the
I'd,
side
I'd be like,
effects?
look, I'm not trying to have a baby right now, but I want to know that I have the
Right, you have the right
opportunity.
to know.
Yeah, do I
It's
have
a
the
legit question.
opportunity?
It's a legit question. Are there any recurring dreams that you have?
mm, no, since my sister passed, I've just been trying to have a dream about her.
I know how that feels because I
Um,
used to try to dream about my mom
I'd be like, can you come and talk to me?
all the time. Girl, listen, I would sit there and be like anything just to connect.
Yeah. Oh my
I don't care
gosh.
if it's not in this realm. Let's do it
I
somewhere else.
know.
I'll meet
And
you where you're at. Like, I
she
just
knows
want to
that
say
me and
hi.
exactly. She knows that me and my mom are super into like signs and
Spirituality. So you guys pay
yeah.
attention to angel numbers, et
Yes,
cetera, et
her
cetera.
number is 22. I have not seen that number so many times in my life until she passed. We were having a
She's
conversation, me and my
there.
mom in the
Boom,
we
boom, boom. All the different areas. She's
was
22.
we was having a chat in the car, and I was like, if only she would just give us a sign, just something to let us know.
And it's like
And
Route 22. She's like, see?
there was a giant billboard with 222 on it. I said, dude,
You
and
know
it
what
was
I
like
often
that.
see? I see 111.
Wow.
For me, every time I'm driving down the road, if I go into deep thought and I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen next, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this. How am I going to formulate it? Then I see 111 change,
Ah,
uproot, up. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm good. I'm good. I'm doing the right thing.
exactly. And like we see any kind of like collage of numbers, I'm like, hold up, we gotta look it up. That means something. Like,
Yeah, always. I feel
yeah.
like right now, divination is big. And
Mhm.
with the temperature of the world today, the climate of
Yeah.
mental health, how people are dealing with each other,
Hmm.
community based situations, pay attention to signs. Because all of
Exactly.
this is not happening for no reason. And
You
I'm
know,
like,
a lot
God
of
is going to
people
get real
aren't
good
very
and tired of us to
spiritual.
hit that reset button, keep playing with that man.
Hmm. A lot of people aren't very spiritual. They don't even believe in that stuff. And I'm like, Psh, I have too many experiences. I know this stuff is real. I know there's another side.
Of
And
course.
I know there is another side. I've seen my grandpa and he wasn't supposed to be here. So, um, and it's weird because like I saw my grandpa while I was on live once and I freaked out, got off my live. I started crying because I was freaked out. Like, why are you over here peeking over the corner staring at me, grandpa? And I knew it was him. Um, and you know, I heard about some things where like they can your loved ones can come to give you a warning that they're coming to get you or something. And, I started to think to myself, my sister she's Catholic, so she just did something and prayed for his soul so that he could be free and all this other stuff. And not be what is it called? The darkness. I'm just gonna say the darkness because I forget. Oh, purgatory. Yeah.
Right.
And after all that's happening, we just get all these signs, and like it's as if he came to say everything's gonna be okay and take my sister away. Like he came to get her and was like giving us a warning. That's kind of how it was. That's kind of how it felt. I don't know how to explain it. But
how would you say, how important would you say now it is, considering your experience and what you went through, it is to stay in touch with spirituality?
Oh, it's very important. I feel like I would lose my sanity if I didn't have some kind of belief,
because you
some
mentioned
kind of
you're
faith.
Christian.
Yeah. And that's something that people, I don't know if they mean to do it, but there's a lot of Christian bullies.
Yeah.
On my social media. I feel like it's a cult. Like, if you don't repent now, you're going to
save your soul.
There's this man in the sky. And I'm like, wait, what? And then here we go. If you don't do it, you're going to burn. It's like,
come on, man. Come on.
They'll nitpick every video that I do. And I'm like, what? Well, you're not going to go to heaven either with all this judgment you got.
Right.
If this is the case, because I'm doing my best, because today's
what
my
I see.
last day.
I see you doing your best every single day.
You never know. You could have no tomorrow.
She's got a personality like I've never seen though, because you get on there, and then not only that, I see acting is something that you play with as well, because I saw you do the scene from Hidden Figures.
Oh yeah,
I've been watching. So I saw you do the scene from Hidden Figures, and you put so much emotion to it.
I was feeling
like,
it.
she can act.
I was trying to branch out. Yeah. And LA, I see everybody doing some stuff. I'm like, I want to try acting. Let me see if I can get into it. Maybe I could try my shot. So I tried to apply for some acting stuff. I always end up getting music videos, of course, but I'm like, I don't want to be in a music video.
So would you say that there is some potential for you to advance in a career on the horizon? You're not giving up.
Oh no giving up.
No, bitch. I was about to say.
What? Giving up. Bitch. People want me to give up, but I ain't giving up. Nope.
No, I don't want you to give up. Here at the Chela's Way Experience, myself, Faith Adorn, we've been watching you for some time. The last thing we want is to know that you ever give up.
No, and I definitely don't want to seem like a charity case.
You're not a charity case.
Yeah, because people are like, "Oh, I'm tired of seeing this charity case." I'm like,
"It's not a charity case.
Have I asked
this
you
is
for
your
anything?
Fucking situation. It's not a fucking charity case." Like, motherfucker, if I could stand, I would. What the fuck?
Yeah, I tell people this is my reality, and I'm just gonna have to make do with it until it gets better. So
exactly, what are you supposed to do? Stay off social media and not connect?
Like they want me to be upset.
You're functional, because this is the issue here. The problem is that people automatically want to see things that are pleasing to the eye and to the mind. Exactly. I'm not here for your comfort. This is my life. Exactly. Social media is supposed to just be social, not personal. And that's the problem. People take it too fucking personal. If you don't like it, log off.
Exactly. And I even tell people all the time, you ain't gotta be here.
You ain't
gotta be here, honey. Like,
I'm not big on TikTok, but I'm big on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I can tell you this, I've been on live plenty of times, and you see, the thing with me is, my biggest kicker with people is they do the whole, "Oh, you're gonna twerk? Are you gonna take off your clothes? If you're not doing that, I don't want to see what you're doing." And I'm like, and I don't want to see what the fuck you doing, because I ain't asked you to fucking come here. So kick rocks, motherfucker.
If you don't like what's on my profile, I mean, you could literally there's a button.
I got to tell you, Gina, I'm a little harsh with the mouth. I'm from the Bronx.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is
I know
New York shit.
If I say something, I'm always like, "Oh, pardon me, guys. Pardon me. Didn't mean to say that. Take it back."
I think that you're doing a good job at showing how you maintain every single day. I think people need to learn to let you be, and understand that it's a fucking process. If anybody out there has a loved one, a friend, a family member of any that is suffering from the HIV virus and its experience, or the AIDS virus and its experience, then you should very well understand that this is a fucking process.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I'm bringing everybody on the journey with me. So
would you say that now you're practicing advocacy, activism, awareness?
At this point,
Triple
yeah.
A's,
Yeah.
girl, triple A's.
I definitely feel that's where it's at this point.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because there's a good chance that, Gena, you could very well be a spokesperson for life.
I get that a lot, actually. Yeah.
Because your story's phenomenal in terms of how far down you went and you were able to pop back up. You know how hard that is? Most people, you cough on them, it's over.
It's a wrap. I'm thankful. I was so scared to actually get COVID. I caught it though.
You did.
I was so scared, but I think I got like the lightest version of it.
The Omicron.
I don't even know what it's called.
But I caught the Omicron one. The fever was crazy. It was like for 24 hours. It wasn't long.
Oh, it's like mine would I'd feel horrible the first day. Next day, fine.
Yeah.
And then the next day,
Omicron is very much like that.
Yeah, I was not with it. But then it just went away. So I was like, oh, wow, that was it. I was freaking out for what? But I'm like, because what happens in body bags?
For it, right?
No. I heard that with my situation, you got to get multiple shots and stuff.
Yeah, nah, that's a little bit much on the body.
I already don't like needles.
So you said right now your CD4 count is 112.
Yes.
So when do you go back to the doctor to check to see, if there's a rise?
I think next month. I don't know the date, but it should be next month.
So it's monthly.
Every 3 months is how they
every 3 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And as far as the walking is concerned, how long before you start to see a result with that?
It's a process. It's really hard. I honestly can't put a time on it. Because being bedridden, it kind of messed up my legs a little bit.
It does cause muscular dystrophy.
Yeah, they're kind of they're stuck a little bit. I can't make them all the way straight, and I keep trying to stretch that out.
Right. So every day you have to stretch your legs. You have to
bend.
So do you have EA therapy, early intervention? If somebody comes in there.
I had therapy. My most viral video I had, you see my 2 therapists. But I had ended up getting cut off because they have some sort of time frame or something. And I had to cancel a couple times because I had doctor's appointments and I can't miss my doctor's appointments. So it was interfering with it, I guess. So they cut me off. But I plan on reapplying for it because I need it,
Right.
My mom, she does as much as she can, but, she can't do everything.
No, I understand. So you're able, at least when she's not home, you can move through the house. You can get things done.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm currently in a transport chair. I think she's doing it to me on purpose, but it doesn't come with the big wheels that I could push. I have to kind of use my legs. Yeah, I got to use my legs to try to drag my chair around the house. Yeah.
But that's good, though, in a way, because it builds the muscle.
Yeah,
little by little.
Exactly.
So you currently weigh 94 pounds.
95.
95. Goddamn, you's a bad bitch. Here we go.
Yeah.
Gena's bad bitch.
I'm thick. No, I'm just kidding.
Girl, I'm like double the weight.
What?
I'm like double the weight.
I'm
trying to lose some.
No.
But, I'm glad to see you staying happy and healthy because, health to me is not just a physical state, it's a mental state.
Exactly.
I feel like you're doing a good job at staying healthy mentally because a lot of people give in to, what comes along with this virus. And this is where we're going into now the myths of the virus because a lot of people have a lot of things misconstrued. There's a lot of misconceptions. And I want you to explain what those myths are and what they aren't because you're living it.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, you can't give someone AIDS. We're gonna start with that one. You can't give someone AIDS. Someone has to give you HIV in order for it to progress to AIDS.
Of course, naturally.
So because I don't know why people just think I'm out here giving AIDS to people, which is weird.
Right? They're like, oh no, you went straight to step B.
Yeah, you went straight to you need
A to get to B.
They go to straight to you need to go to jail, and I'm like, for what? Why?
You're not knowingly infecting people.
Exactly.
That's usually that's only a legal matter when a person knows they're positive and knowingly goes out there and infects people out of malicious intent. A person who rapes people knowing they're HIV positive.
Exactly.
That's something to go to jail for. I'm like, she's not raping these people.
Exactly, and that's another reason why I said I don't know where I got it because it could have been someone who raped me, you know.
And you said in your lives that you have been raped multiple times.
Yeah, multiple times by people I don't know. I don't know where they live, don't know their names. So,
and was this during that period of homelessness?
Yeah, I thought I was getting a cup of water. And I remember once I took a sip, just a sip. I blacked out and I woke up naked. And then the person told me, "Don't worry about it. You had fun." So that was one of the times, and I was so scared. I didn't know what to do, and I was so I was alone in New York, so I didn't want to tell my mom because I didn't want her to be like, "Just come back home." And I was scared to tell her anything, and I think that's another reason why I kind of didn't say anything. I just didn't want. I didn't want all that drama. I don't know. It was hard. And then I had moments where someone was supposed to take me home. They didn't take me home. The other one, I remember it happening, but I don't remember how. It's just a lot.
I'm gonna tell you like this. One thing about New Yorkers, they have a ravenous appetite for out-of-state people.
They do.
The minute
I learned it the hard way.
Yeah, the minute that you got those vicious ones that know you're from out of state, and they automatically go gunning for you because they know that. They know you don't know the ways of the streets.
Yeah.
New York is very big, especially New York City, and it's got a lot of back blocks, a lot of
Exactly.
alleys.
And I was freshly 18.
Right, because girl, if I would have ran into you, I'd be like, girl, don't get in that car. You don't know that nigga. Because New Yorkers, we like that. Like, I would see a girl that doesn't know better, I'd clip that shit. I'd be like, yo, shorty, don't fuck with that nigga. That nigga look crazy. Yeah. I probably would have told you I can't help you, but like I'm telling you, don't go that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll at least do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen scenarios where a lot of people are like, oh, looking for directions, and they're from out of town. And I always tell them, be careful who you ask. Because you never know. Use your fucking GPS. Fuck that. Because these people be crazy.
That's why I was like, you know what? 4 years was enough. I learned everything I needed to know.
So you were in New York only for 4 years, and then you went to LA.
Yeah, and then I was there for 4 years, and then I just came back home.
So the myth that people always come to you with, and I don't understand how they don't know this by now, after years and years and years of knowing about this virus, how can you can't get AIDS without getting HIV? That's one.
Yes.
That's out. And what is another myth you say that's heavily misconcepted?
Oh, you can't be undetectable with AIDS. That's what people always say, and I'm like, yes, you can.
Apparently, with the advances in medicine, you actually can. I didn't know that either. That's news to me because that was the one thing I wasn't aware of. I always thought that if you dipped into the lower T cell count and you finally acquired the virus, because we always, it's called acquired immune deficiency syndrome.
Yeah.
But that is just a syndrome that affects the body in other ways. It's not necessarily.
It's something about the viral load.
Right. They're discussing viral load.
Something about the viral load that makes you undetectable. So.
I gotta say though, with the advances in medicine, that they're giving people a chance at life. However, the downside to that I cannot stand, and I hate it with a passion, is that a lot of celebrities, artists, athletes, et cetera, are, or even the affluent, the wealthy, they're tapping into taking this drug and using it as a reason to be sexually active freely without using protection. They use this so that they can't contract or spread. How do you feel about that, knowing that you're taking this medication to stay alive and they're doing it just to have fun?
They're risking their lives. They don't care about their lives, is how I see it. It's kind of disgusting. Like, you're having to hurt yourself so you can go out and be nasty for what?
Right, because this is harsh on the body. You were saying that, like there's a lot of side effects that come with this medication. Liver and kidney damage being one of them.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to take it every month, So like I said, you could probably do it like once a month, and then 1 month, and then like give it a little time, then maybe do it again when you know you're gonna be active. But if you're just going back to back to back, it's really gonna hurt you, and is it worth it?
Right. And this is where it gets to be uncomfortable, knowing that a person will intentionally use a drug for the wrong reasons. Because I don't care what anyone says. That's the wrong fucking reason.
Yeah, that
is the wrong fucking reason. The right reason is to be on the medication because you're fighting for your life and you're trying to stay healthy and alive. not to be on the medication so you can fuck every girl that walks past and not contract anything or spread. And there's a lot of artists that do this, and I'm like, this is so damaging to the culture.
Exactly.
When you think about it, because you guys are sending the wrong fucking message. That's the problem. You have a girl like you on TikTok, 13 million views, I gotta say. Phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm nowhere near big on TikTok. I don't try, but I'm gonna start trying. I'm gonna see if I can do some skits.
It's the new thing. Yeah.
It's the new thing. Hey, you guys do a skit. Let's pick a funny movie. Yeah. I'm like, girl. So, for someone like you, when I watch the severity of the situation and how important it is to try to stay alive, how important it is to be on your medication on a daily basis, and then to watch someone do it for leisure, I don't agree with that.
You want that life? Why? Why do you want
Yeah, why
that?
would you want to take a medication that's going to damage your kidney and your liver? But you know what? Who cares? Because they're probably already on lean or whatever else they're on, so they can care less.
Exactly. They're already probably doped up or something, but it's just like, you really must not like your life. That's because like, I mean, that's literally all I can say.
How would you say the medication makes you feel?
So I think PrEP is a little different, because if I took PrEP, I couldn't take it. It would probably kill me. So because I already
why do you say PrEP would kill you versus the Juvia that you take?
Because I don't take PrEP. I take a Juvia. Because PrEP is to prevent. It's to prevent getting HIV.
To prevent contracting.
Yeah, but I already have it, and it already has all these side effects to it. It would just backfire on my end. Yeah.
What would you say? Somebody said y'all talking about the PrEP bill, and fine print says that it does not stop the transmission of HIV or AIDS. Interesting, because from what I know,
that's what it's supposed to be for.
That's specifically what it's for. So maybe a percentage, maybe up to 98% or 99 point whatever percent. From what I do know, though, I have gained some knowledge on the subject because I did research.
Yeah.
People do take it as a preventative measure so that they can be sexually free.
Yeah.
That I do know. It's heavy, and it's heavy in the culture. Extremely, extremely heavy in the culture.
Definitely. I just know if I take it, it's not okay. Because I mean, it's pointless for me to take it when I already have it. So
as an advocate,
wasn't really preventing,
Right. As an advocate, you would say, like, why would you do that for fun?
Yeah. How about we just be more safe? How about we wear protection?
Yeah. So how about
we just find one person we like?
Situation from those special drunk goggles that you guys use, or drug goggles, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Stop looking at a girl and saying, like, she looks good, she looks healthy.
Exactly. It doesn't matter about your parents, how much, like I said, how much money you have. None of that stuff matters. Anybody can get it. It only takes one person.
That's it. Just one.
Just one slip up. One slip up, one bad needle, one bad blood transfusion. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you're subject to a life-changing experience.
Exactly. Or you could just lose your life altogether. So,
So along with a lot of the, the experiences that you went through with this virus, what would you say at this point you want to teach people, the one thing you want to teach people?
I mean, it's really just, please go get checked. And please, like, that's my main thing. It's just, you got to do it. Like, even if you're not thinking about it right now, go do it. Like, it doesn't matter if you're sexually active or not right now. It lays dormant for so long, and you'll be like, oh Lord, you'll be just like me. I didn't know I had it. And then,
right.
So
right. Because there's a lot of young women out there, a lot of young men. We're talking about men, women, LGBTQ, all alike, that are out there, trying to find their way. Same thing. There's a lot of people trying to chase a dream that are probably in the street somewhere, thinking that they can trust the party that they're with.
Another issue I'm having is, like, a lot of people are like, why are you going out and killing all these people? I'm like,
who did you kill?
Yeah, who? Or I'm going out. I'm like, but what about them? What if someone did that to me?
To you?
Why did I invent this all of a sudden? Like,
right. And I saw you said that on the live. You said, I'm not the inventor of the AIDS virus. Like, I'm not the inventor of AIDS. Someone actually had the nerve to make it seem like you were the spokesperson for AIDS, but I don't think that they understand that you're just the only one that's coming forward and telling your story. You're not the only one with it. You're just the only one that's not afraid to talk about it. And then this is what people need to understand. There's a lot of people, even your most favorite people, your most favorite celebrities, could very well be walking around with this virus, but because they have the right money, the right media coverage, the right support system,
they can cover
the right managerial, whatever, they're good to go. That doesn't make them any less infected.
They're just not honest. That's all.
They're just not talking about it. And there's a lot of people out there that are like that are afraid to come forward. But guess what? One thing I got to say about you, Gena, you weren't afraid to come forward. And you received way more support because of the fact that you told your story. And I got to say, there's probably a lot of people that you're helping. A lot. By coming forward and telling your story.
Thankfully.
Man, listen.
I'm grateful
I got to say that as far as I'm concerned, God's on your side. And I'm super certain.
He want me here for some reason, so I'm hoping I'm shining a light on something for him.
You got a story and you're here. So that's I look at the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is like she went all the way down and came back up. That's serious. That don't happen for no reason.
He gave me a hard test so I could have a testimony.
Right.
That's what he did.
Testimonial.
Yeah.
This is your testimonial. I do see greater things for you, Gena.
Thank you.
And I've been a visionary.
This is where you say I'm psychic.
I think that you're good to go. I love your tattoos on your shoulder. The one on your neck. It looks complete.
Thank you.
It makes you, yo.
Thank you.
I want to, Faith, let's throw some of the pictures with Gena with her colorful hair if we have. I want to show the world how colorful you like to be. Why are you always so vibrant with color in terms of your hair, your style? You love to be colorful. You know what I'm saying? I love the colorful braids. You're not afraid to do something different. You're always doing something different with your hair. If it's not like a rainbow color, it's like pink. It's always something. Why are you so into color?
I've just always been such an artistic person, and I always thought other things were just so much boring. And I think I got online back when emo was super poppin'.
I see. I'm getting a lot of like emo goth, but you're too colorful to be goth.
So every time I saw things, that's when they came out with what they call scene queens, and I became popular for that. With around the younger area, people were making videos and stuff of me just because my hair. Sorry, I get my headphones and that's went out.
So I gotta say, you do a really good job at showing all these different sides of yourself, Gena. Between your hair, you try to stay made up. You really, really try to always look presentable. She's like, man, fuck that. I'm using a filter. I'm gonna look like I got on makeup. Fuck that. You love to be made up. That's what I see with you. I see that you love to be made up. You love to have your hair done. You love to put on makeup. You like to feel pretty. So that shows me that you're deeply connected to not just how you look, but how you want to feel.
Yeah, it's a happy feeling. And I always used to paint. I wanted to be a painter, but I was like in the back of my head, this isn't gonna go anywhere. Who's painting and getting paid? And so like,
you'll be surprised. Bob Ross was one of them.
I was just, my parents were kind of like strict on you need to figure out what you want to be in life. And so that ain't it.
You grew up in a very strict household, you would say.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to be on the computer much. So I think by the time I was able to get on, Facebook was over with. So I didn't have that experience.
So you grew up with a very steady family structure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My family.
So that would explain why you wanted to break free at 18. She's like, man, fuck this shit.
We had the belt and everything. Yep, we had all that. Mind you, I went to school when we had the chocolate cake. I don't know if you ever. Well, they called it the chocolate cake. It's the paddle. I don't know if you went to school with the paddle.
They really hit y'all with that? Well, you went to parochial school? Like, what the fuck?
That's public school. Over here, yeah. We had the paddle and we had the ruler. They hit you in the hand or the knuckles with the ruler. Yeah.
I didn't know that corporal punishment was still a thing in school. I know that there's certain states that are trying to bring it back. But I didn't know that it was still a thing. My mom experienced it in Catholic school.
Oof. Yeah, no, my mom said y'all can't touch me. They cannot touch me. She would not have it because I would watch them beat the kids and like I ended up telling my mom one day and because I felt so
and this
bad.
is in Tennessee, Memphis.
I felt
There's
so
public
bad.
school systems that allow corporal punishment.
Yeah.
And what grade was that?
I mean, that was a while ago. I was a lot younger back then though. Because you know I'm 27 now.
Okay. So would you say like that's like 15 years ago?
Yeah, I could say that.
So would you say elementary or middle?
Both.
Wow.
I feel like both.
It's
yeah.
Harsh. That's a little bit traumatic.
It depends on the and I mean when I tell you they would grab the kids by their arm, hang them in the air, and just whack. You know, like it was like that. Yeah. And all
no,
it
you
didn't
couldn't
matter.
do that here in New York. Kids fight back.
Yeah.
I'm saying like the kids fight the teachers here in New York.
I
Kids
felt
fight
so
the cops
bad.
in New York.
I told my mom complained to the school like, hey, what the hell, you know? And the next day I go to class and my teacher's like talking to all the students. She's like, well, I can't do this anymore because we have some snitches in the class. And I'm like, and she looked dead at me. I said, oh.
Oh my
like,
God.
So I'm not snitching, but y'all hurting people.
Gena, the student, really quickly.
Oh Lord.
What kind of student would you say you were? Were you an apt pupil, or were you the rebellious?
Honestly, I was so shy. I stayed to myself. I was like like I said, I swear I was an emo.
But completed all the tasks. You had good grades.
I tried to be the best student always, but I did have some racist teachers. Teachers like also I was in ballet. My ballet teacher stole all my stuff.
Really?
Yeah, she's because you know ballet stuff is expensive, and she stole it all, but only from me. Then she would tell them that I wasn't doing right in class when I was the best student, stuff like that.
And do you think that was a result of you being biracial?
Yeah.
So would you say Memphis or Tennessee itself has a lot of racism?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Do you know why they okayed the no age limit marriage in Tennessee?
What?
Yeah. It was passed like 2-3 months ago. No age limit. Yeah.
Oh, Tennessee.
Because now you're explaining, you're telling me about corporal punishment in public schools. You're telling me about the rising crime rate. And now I'm like, okay, so I wonder why you guys would okay like the no age limit on marriage.
Wait, so is that allowing rape at this point? I mean,
I would assume that's like a 10-year-old can marry a 25-year-old.
No.
Yeah. It's Tennessee that did it first.
I'm ashamed to be here.
She's like, let me just hurry up and go to Pittsburgh.
I am not.
So there was nothing traumatic that took place in your life that led you to go and move on and go outside and chase your career. It was all because you just wanted to live out the dream.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted. My mom never kicked me out. I did we did fight a bit, but I knew I wasn't gonna get where I wanted to be, being in Ohio and Tennessee. So, but if you're asking about as a kid, yeah, I got bullied in school all the time. They would drag tables from me and tell me I couldn't sit there. I had a kid stab me in the hand with a pencil. My teacher told me I was just complaining. Yeah, I used to have nervous twitches in school where I would pull out all my hair.
And all of this, was it a result of the racism or just people were just bullying you just to bully
a lot of the times I didn't feel like I fit in. So I always try to keep to myself, but
that's gotta be some shit though for you to feel like you didn't fit in then, and then you have this following.
Yeah.
Like my headphones.
People wonder how they're like, how are you so strong? And I'm like, shoot, I've been through a lot. Oop.
All right, here we go. We're back. My hair's I took off these headphones.
Oh, it's okay.
Yes, sometimes it tends to die. Sometimes the batteries tend to die.
Oh,
but
it's okay.
You said that you went through the bullying process. Would you say that, like I said again, was it because you were biracial, or is it just because it was just like people being?
It was, yeah. It was. I felt like it was a biracial thing because I went to all black schools.
So this was coming from our people. What the fuck? You know, and okay, so I want to make a statement because a lot of people might agree or disagree. But I'm gonna say it like this.
She said, "Oh, wait a minute,"
because I'm seeing a lot of racial terminology that comes from Black people. You know, when they do it in a joking manner, I understand. You know, like we have the right to make a joke. However, when you complain about white people doing the things that they do to us, and then you do it back, I just don't see how that's supposed to make it better.
I know it. I'm like,
people are like, oh, it doesn't make it better, but it makes it even. But we're not trying to even out the playing field. We're trying to change things. You know what I'm saying? And
it's because I'm so pale, I guess, so light skinned. They just I've had people say, you don't know what it's like to be Black. You've never had to. You don't even know what it's like for someone to be racist. I don't even know. It was something like that, and I'm like, wait, what?
It's like, crazy, because like I'm light skinned, right? And people love to say, "Oh, well, you're Spanish. You're not Black," and I'm like, actually, I'm Black. I'm Hispanic and Black. Exactly. But I'm all Black. I'm not half anything because both of my parents come from the West Indies. Both of them suffered slave trade.
Exactly.
Both of them have ancestors that were raped and pillaged. Let's not do that. I'm 100% Black. Yeah. And I'm not never backing down, and you can't make me.
And it's crazy because that's another thing that had come out now that I'm, out there and, everyone knows about me, whatever. I've never until now have been called a Black queen. I'm like, ooh, I'm Black now. Okay. I thought I was white last time. Okay. Guess I'm Black now. But because they would never accept me. They're like, I need proof. I'm just like, what do you need? How do you need proof? You can't see it. But I'm too light.
I think a Black person can look at you and tell that there's Black in you.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, but I get so many messages about it now, and I'm like, oh, let's save our Black queen, and look what they do to our people, and I'm like, okay, I guess I got invited to the cookout now, so okay.
Well, if anything, you get to go with me. How about that?
Yeah.
Gena, listen to me. I want you to know that I'm ever so grateful for you taking the time out today to joining, the Chela's Way experience, because this has been an experience. This wasn't just a conversation. It wasn't just an interview. I feel like we got to exchange energy and we experienced each other. And I look forward to seeing more of you on TikTok for years and years to come. Yes. I hope that, things start to iron itself out. I do see that, you will regain vision in time. And I do feel like you'll have your baby soon. I feel like all of these things will happen. I feel like you'll walk. I feel like you'll be an ambassador for whoever. And I feel like the same way you're growing on TikTok, you're going to grow as a person.
Thank you. I need all this positive energy.
It is positive because it's real. I love to see it. You went from $5.99 and you're like $605, and I'm like, she has to be at like $1 million tomorrow. She's gonna be at $1 million tomorrow.
My mom said that. I was like, oh snap!
She's gonna be at $1 million tomorrow. But Gena, you got my ever growing support. Thank you for being with us tonight. Continue to fight pro-life. Okay, that's what we're here for. I love your work. Continue to be beautiful. Tell your mom I said thank you for always being there for you, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be doing this talk right now.
Exactly.
God is on your side, kid.
Thank you so much. Yeah, without my mom, she goes through a lot. Just for me and my,
We love you, Gena. Right. Thank you for joining us.
Of course, it was a pleasure.
On TikTok. And I got you on there. Make sure you guys follow Gena Tew on TikTok. She's Gena Tew on Instagram. To Gena. And if you guys have a time or even a moment, a couple dollars to spare, please check out her GoFundMe. Even the smallest amount of money counts. Okay?
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Gena.
I love you.
Thank you so much, baby.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for joining me today. I'm going to take a few more minutes to discuss the ending of this episode. I wanted you guys to be super enlightened on, AIDS awareness. Please wake up. Please understand that the world is a cold place. A person saying I'm good is not enough. A person saying don't worry is not enough. You should always worry. I think you should care about your life because you only have one. And if you care about the people around you and you want to be there for them, getting tested is important. Stay on top of your health. Even if you're in a relationship, do your part to get tested. Be in the know, because you see, it goes from one simple mistake to a lifetime of change. And I feel that at this point, if you guys haven't learned anything from Gena's story, all we could do is pray for you. But if you did, take that initiative. Go to your local clinic, your physician. Even if you want to do it privately, go get tested. Don't be afraid. AIDS is real. So is HIV. Although there's medication out there as preventative care, it doesn't stop you from actually having the virus and that raining on you mentally. So before you end up there, go there. Go to that local clinic and go get tested. Thank you for tuning into the Chela's Way Experience, episode 4. We'll see you next week.